Hello, my name is Mr. Gardner. I present to you issue number 1 of Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man. If you enjoy this story, be sure to support by buying the issues and leaving a like on the video. All that said, let's get into the Ultimate Spider-Man. 20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting a young Peter Parker. He likewise prevented the creation of any other superheroes and formed a secret council to rule the world from the shadows. When Tony Stark learned the dark history of his universe, he sought to undo it, prompting the Maker's Council to attack Manhattan, killing thousands and framing Stark for it. Peter Parker has lived his life unaware of the Maker's Council or the truth behind the spider. But this is about to change. A slightly older Peter walks out of a room into a kitchen with two children present before him, Richard and May Parker. The fiery redhead Mary Jane walks up behind him. It looks like you could use a cup of coffee. Couldn't sleep? They go back and forth with attention on May with a sphere in hand that Peter makes note of. This isn't a toy. As Peter is walking into the Daily Bugle, his place of work, Parker! Parker! Jonah is yelling for. Oh. Hey, Peter. He's calling for a different Parker. Ben Parker. Peter reminds Ben of the memorial that they have to go to. As they're walking out, Jonah stops Peter. Peter asks Jonah how Uncle Ben is doing. Jonah responds, Your uncle is the toughest son of a gun that I know. But watch out for those cracks, Peter. And if you really want to know how he's doing, ask. As Peter and Ben are walking to the memorial, Peter attempts to slip into those cracks. They talk back and forth about what not being able to ever forget the ones you've lost, but learning to live with their absence. Here we learn of a terrorist attack that claimed many lives, Aunt May and Norman Osborn included. Harry Osborn approaches the podium to speak. I'm not sure I'm ever going to be able to move on or get better. Because when I'm all alone in the quiet of the night, it isn't angels I hear singing. I hear a ball hitting a glove. I hear screams and sirens. I hear all of us crying out in pain because a part of our future was stolen, and in exchange all we have are memories. It's just not enough. And I'm not sure any of us should be expected to live with it. Back at the Bugle, I quit. Jonah storms out of the building, Ben asking the editorial staff around him, what did I miss? See, there's been some changes, big changes. Kingpin has taken over the Bugle. Fisk suggests to Ben that a promotion is in sight if he could blur the lines. Ben and Jonah in the elevator, deciding what's next as they both are now unemployed. Later that night, a large flash of light followed by an explosion at a tower Fisk approaches. Fisk and his men look to the sky. A man in green armor on a glider flies away. At a bar with no name, we pick back up with Ben and Jonah discussing their future over multiple beers. That they should start their own newspaper, independent of corporate greed or schemes. That with the paper, they'll write about truth. Jonah retorts that instead of telling the truth, they should never tell lies. Peter walks into the bar, something clearly wrong. Ben sits and listens to Peter open up. It's just, for the longest time, I've thought something was wrong with my life. That something was wrong with me. I can't really explain it, but I just know that I've been right all along, and I don't know what to do. Ben, being alive a lot longer than Peter, gives him some sage advice. Have you ever heard the saying, inaction is action? That's just a garbage way of saying don't spend the rest of your life waiting for something to happen. Make it happen. If you're walking around half asleep, anesthetized by your own life, then wake up. Peter goes back home, these words sticking with him. Peter opens up to Mary Jane, letting her know that he feels as if he's missing a part of himself. A part of his life is gone. Mary Jane assures him that if he's missing a part of himself, then he needs to go and get it. We see Peter on the rooftop of their apartment with the small silver ball. He thinks to the night previous, a crate beaming with electricity. This, Parker, Peter, Parker. This is for Parker, Peter, Parker. The box illuminates a hologram of Tony Stark, Iron Man, before him. I'm sending this to you from 6 months into the future. There was an attempt on my life, my companions' lives, and we only had seconds to escape before the orbital platform fired. 20 years ago, you were supposed to be bitten by a radioactive spider. This would have given you amazing powers. With them, you would have become one of Earth's most prominent superheroes. You were supposed to have a different life, Peter. You were supposed to protect the innocent, save lives, and inspire citizens around the world to be the best of themselves. And instead, all of that was taken from you. These people stole your future. These people robbed you of your destiny. The question is, do you want it back? Peter smiles. He opens up the sphere and takes out the spider. He smiles as he makes the decision to become better than what he is, to fulfill his destiny. And that was issue number 1 of Jonathan Hickman's Ultimate Spider-Man. Thank you so much for listening to this entire video, and let me know what you guys thought down in the comments down below. Are you excited to see where this series goes? I know I am. Mr. Gardner, over and out.